Good day everyone, we are Group 3 and we are here to discuss about the electronic age. First, let's talk about electronic media. Electronic media are media that use electronics or electromechanical audience to access the content. However, electronic media may be in either analog electronics data or digital electronic data format. Analog uses data that is continuous and the goal is to capture a likeness of reality, while digital uses sampling to encode the data and then reproduces it as closely as needed. This is in contrast to static media or mainly printed media, which today are most often created electronically but do not require electronics to be accessed by the end user in the printed form. The primary electronic media sources familiar to the general public are video recordings, audio recordings, multimedia presentations, slide presentations, CD-ROM, and online content. Other examples of electronic media are radio, television, and telephone. Radio and television are both effective means of broadcasting information to many people at once. For this reason, radio is a form of mass communication, while television is used for education, training programs, and video conferencing. Lastly, we have is telephone, which is a telecommunication device that permits two or more users to conduct a conversation when they are too far apart to be heard directly. Let us now proceed to electronic age. It started back in 1930s to 1980s, wherein it is the beginning of the new age of faster communication and transmission of information all over the world. Technological advancements occur during this age. It allows people to contact others quickly without leaving their house to send a mail or a message in a few. The invention of the transistor ushered in which it allowed the people to control the power of transistors, which created the transistor radio, electronic circuits, and early computers. In this age, long-distance communication became more efficient.
Here are some examples of electronics age devices. First is the first digital computer, an electrical computer that used more than 300 vacuum tubes for digital computation, including binary math and Boolean logic, and had no CPU. Second is transistor radio, the most popular electronic communication device of the 1960s and 1970s. Next is television, 1941, mainframe computers, 1960, telegraph, 1837, that developed by Cook and Wheatstone. Telegraph has 5 magnetic needles that could be pointed around a panel of letters and numbers by using an electric current. Next is ENIAC, or Electronic Numerical Integrator Calculator, 1945, a computer for calculating artillery firing tables. Lastly, the first cell phone, 1973, was released by Motorola Company. This made communication quicker and easier as people were better able to communicate through making and receiving calls.
Here is a timeline to further understand the electronic age. 1930, transistor. 1941, television. 1943, Enigma. 1947, transistor radio. 1949, EDSAC, or also known as Electronic Delay Storage Automatic Calculator. 1950, OHP, or also known as projector. 1951, Univac 1 and videotape recorder. 1960, IBM 704. 1968, Hewlett-Packard 9100A. 1970, floppy disk. 1976, Apple I. And 1980, Walkman. This is the end of our discussion. Thank you for listening.